ที่ 4ช่วงเช้านะครับซึ่งช่วงเช้าก็ยังเป็นช่วงที่ต้องวิจารณ์กันอย่างเข้มข้นเหมือนเดิมนะครับนะแต่ว่าสำหรับวิดีโอชุดนี้เนี่ยเรามีพิเศษมากกว่านั้นนะครับเรามีพิเศษมากกว่านั้นคือบทสัมภาษณ์นะครับเพราะว่าวังซุกหรือว่าน้องปูเนี่ยนะครับมาช่วยเราสัมภาษณ์แล้วก็ยังมีทีมงานจากเนชั่นแล้วก็หนังสือถ่ายภาพ Photo Info นะครับมานั่งสัมภาษณ์ทั้งเดวิด อารัน ฮาวีนะครับไอราบล็อกแล้วก็ทางคุณไมเคิล ยามาชิตะนะครับสัมภาษณ์กันแบบเต็มเลยนะครับเต็มที่เลยเดี๋ยวเราจะตัดบางช่วงบางตอนมาให้นะครับแล้วก็ตอนที่สำคัญนะว่าเขามีแนวคิดมีความรู้สึกยังไงที่ได้มาถ่ายภาพหรือว่าแม้แต่ประวัติหรืออะไรต่างๆนะครับเดี๋ยวเราค่อยมาดูกัน
My name is Ira Block. I'm a photographer, and I've been working mostly for the National Geographic magazine in the United States for over 30 years now, about 32 years.
Because a good photograph needs composition, light, and a moment. If you have all three, you've got a really great image. If you have two, you've got a really good image. If you have one, you've got a nice image. If you have neither, you have a snapshot.
Okay.
When I do my work, you know, with the National Geographic, a lot of times I'm making the picture. Mine's the most extreme case because someone comes up and says, here's this rock that's 50 million years old. It's very important because there's a crack in this rock that means something. Well, if I just take a picture of it, people look and go, oh, it's a rock. Yeah, it's a rock. Now, why are we looking at a picture of a rock? So with light, I could, you know, come in on, you know, yeah, I could emphasize the crack. I could make shadows, make, you know, light. And that works on objects. And also my lighting also works when I do, you know, portraits of people. You can make people look, you know, more dramatic, less dramatic. You could put people in an environment.
Well, I was certainly influenced by photographers, but my earliest influence in terms of the creative experience really came from writers.
Okay.
Because my mother and my grandmother were giving me a lot of books at a very early age.
Right.
And I was hospitalized at a very early age to the extent that I thought that I would be handicapped forever.
Wow.
When I was 6 years old. So when I was in the hospital, I was receiving a lot of books. So my escape from the hospital was reading a lot of books. So probably that's one of the reasons that writers were a big influence on me. You know, cameras were easily accessible, and so I started documenting my own life and my own neighborhood with just a simple camera. And I made a darkroom immediately, and I was really passionate about photography by the time I was 12 years old. So I was really serious by the time I was 12. And my parents didn't have any money to buy me a good camera, so I was a newspaper delivery boy. And I used that money to buy a used Leica, actually. So I was taking pictures from an early age and making my own prints and making handmade books from an early age. Yeah, these people, by the time I take this picture, I am with them. I am not walking by and take a picture. By this time, I am painted, my camera is painted, I am drinking beer. Yeah, I'm getting completely crazy with these people. But they think I'm getting crazy with them. In my mind, I am still absolutely 100% focused. Same with this. So that was my revolution. So by becoming inside, I can disappear in another way.
Yeah.
And I don't need much for a photograph. If you look in my photographs, there's nothing. There's really nothing.
It's mean a lot.
Yeah, but what I mean is there's no, because when I was a kid in my small town, I didn't have a war, I didn't have a fashion model, I didn't have a scenery, I didn't have a sports, you know, I didn't have anything, only whatever was the life around me. So immediately I gravitated towards this kind of thing. See, all of my pictures really only have one color, maybe two.
One major color.
One major color.
Yeah.
Because the fact is that I was shooting black and white until I was 30 years old. So my life as a photographer was black and white photography only until I was 30. So from 12 to 30, that's a long time. All of my development was in black and white.
Yeah.
So then when I did decide to experiment in color, I still had in my mind, I didn't want a lot of color.
Ah.
I like to say I am here to please my harshest critics. Now, it doesn't do me any good to shoot a picture of Jujaigo that all of you know already the angle, or all of you have seen so many pictures. What good does it do me to take that same photograph, the easy picture, and bring it back to my editors who've never seen anything on Jujaigo? And they're going to say, wow, that looks great, let's publish this picture. No, I can't think that way, because I'm going to be embarrassed, because I know there's so many other photographers who live here, who know that place. So my job, whenever I am going to shoot anywhere in Asia, is to know what you know, what you've seen. I need to know that, because I am not going to repeat and do an easy picture. I want something that's going to impress you. You've been there, you've seen it. I want something that only I have taken, and you will appreciate the look and
the effort put into it.
And the effort put into it.
My love, my passion is Asia, and that's partly because I'm Asian American, partly because I love to eat rice, and therefore I love Thai food, and I love Japanese and Chinese food, and I tell my editors, please don't send me anywhere unless they're serving rice.
Right.
You know, it's funny, but even though, again, so say on this assignment, I have 16 weeks. That's about 1 year. In a 1 year, I spent 4 months shooting this Great Wall. And it sounds like a lot, but it's 10,000 kilometers. Not only that, I'm moving and I have a schedule to meet. So often I am not shooting under the most ideal conditions. How's that, guys? Now, I know you guys have shot an awful lot of pictures of me in the last few days, so I hope you have enough that you can use it for the next year or two.
สำหรับตัว F8 Workshop เนี่ยนะครับผมต้องขอขอบคุณทางบริษัท Canon Marketing Thailand นะครับแล้วก็ Canon Worldwide ที่ช่วยสนับสนุนนะครับตัว F8 Workshop ให้ช่างภาพระดับโลกนะครับถึง3คนเนี่ยมาทำเวิร์กช็อปที่เมืองไทยแล้วก็ให้ทีมเราเนี่ยได้เข้าไปติดตามนะครับแล้วก็ได้นำเสนอสิ่งต่างๆเนี่ยออกมาเป็นวิดีโอพรีเซนเทชันให้กับพวกเราได้ดูกันนะครับแล้วก็งานแบบนี้เนี่ยหาดูได้ไม่ง่ายนะเราก็พยายามทำให้ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างเนี่ยมันถ่ายทอดได้อย่างตรงประเด็นที่สุดนะครับแล้วก็ให้คนที่ดูเนี่ยได้อะไรหลากหลายเปิดกว้างขึ้นนะครับแล้วก็คิดว่าน่าจะมีเวิร์กช็อปอย่างนี้อีกเรื่อยๆนะครับแล้วก็ถ้ามีอีกทีมงานของเราก็จะพยายามไปเก็บภาพแล้วก็คลุกคลีให้ได้อะไรกลับมามากยิ่งขึ้นนะครับแล้วก็วิดีโอชุดนี้นะครับผมถ่ายด้วยกล้องพวก DSLR นะครับก็มี Canon 5D Mark II 7D แล้วก็ 500D นะครับขอฝากวิดีโอไว้อีกชุดหนึ่งนะครับเป็นชุดที่ทางพวกเรากำลังจะทำเกี่ยวกับตัววิดีโอบน DSLR นะครับซึ่งต่อจากซีรีส์นี้นะครับก็จะมีละนะครับถ้าใครสนใจเนี่ยดูได้ว่าพวกเราทำงานกันยังไงแล้วก็ไอตัว DSLR เนี่ยมันมาช่วยพวกเราทำงานยังไงแล้วถ้าอยากถ่ายวิดีโอบน DSLR เนี่ยต้องเรียนรู้อะไรพวกเราบอกหมดเลยไม่มีปิดบังเลยนะครับเอาละครับสำหรับ F8 Workshop ก็คงจะหมดซีรีส์ลงเท่านี้นะครับถ้ายังไงเนี่ยคอยติดตามผลงานของพวกเราต่อไป